What if I told you that many of the reasons Americans struggle financially aren't just about budgeting, bad spending habits, or not making enough money, but actually about the dumb laws that make it nearly impossible to get ahead? From insane taxes to outdated restrictions, today we're diving into 61 of the dumbest government laws that keep most Americans broke. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be shaking your head at how ridiculous some of these rules really are. So grab a snack, hit that like button, and let's expose the system together. 1. The Federal Income Tax System. The U.S. tax code is over 7,000 pages long, and it's so complicated that even the IRS admits it confuses them. If you make a mistake, you pay a fine. If the government makes a mistake, you still pay. That's like playing a game where the referee always wins. 2. Tax on Social Security benefits. Yes, the government taxes the very benefits you already paid into your entire working life. Imagine buying a pizza, then being charged again for each slice you eat. 3. Double taxation on dividends. Businesses pay corporate tax. Then, when shareholders get dividends, they're taxed again. That's like baking a cake, paying tax for the flour, and then paying tax again when you eat it. 4. The estate tax, aka death tax. You spend your whole life building wealth, only for the government to take up to 40% of it when you die. It's like Uncle Sam saying, "Congrats on a life well lived, now hand it over." 5. State licensing laws for simple jobs. Let's talk about occupational licenses, the government's way of saying, we don't trust you to cut hair unless you've trained for longer than a medical intern. That's almost the same number of hours a commercial airline pilot trains before flying a jet. So, according to lawmakers, flying 300 people at 30,000 feet equals braiding cornrows on a Saturday afternoon. These unnecessary requirements drive up costs for people just trying to make a living, and they keep thousands of would-be entrepreneurs broke before they even get started. 6. Occupational licensing for florists. Louisiana once had a law requiring a license to legally arrange flowers. Seriously, flowers! Because apparently a poorly arranged bouquet might be a public safety hazard. Could you imagine being fined because your roses weren't compliant? This law wasn't about safety. It was about keeping big flower shops safe from competition. While you were busy picking daisies, the government was busy picking your wallet. 7. Permit laws for lemonade stands. Remember when kids could just set up a stand, sell lemonade for 25 cents, and learn their first lesson in capitalism? Well, now, in many cities, kids need a business permit, a health inspection, and in some cases, a vendor's license just to sell a cup of sugar water. That's like asking an 8-year-old to hire an accountant before serving lemonade to neighbors. Instead of encouraging entrepreneurship, laws like this crush it before it even starts. 8. The Jones Act, aka shipping law. The Jones Act requires that goods shipped between U.S. ports be transported on American-made, American-owned, and American-crewed ships. Sounds patriotic, right? Except it makes everything ridiculously expensive, especially in places like Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Alaska. Shipping a container from Los Angeles to Honolulu can cost more than shipping the same container all the way to China. That's not protecting American jobs. That's punishing Americans who live on islands. 9. Bans on collecting rainwater. In several states, you can get fined for putting out a barrel and collecting rainwater. Think about that. The sky gives you free water, but the government says, nope, that belongs to us. It's like getting arrested for catching snowflakes on your tongue. Instead of letting families save on water bills, laws like this make sure utilities and municipalities stay in control and that you keep paying. 10. Zoning laws against home businesses. Want to run a bakery out of your kitchen? Or maybe sell crafts from your garage? In many cities, zoning laws shut that down faster than you can say homemade cookie. These rules force people to rent expensive commercial spaces just to sell a few products. It's the government's way of saying, either you go corporate or you don't go at all. That keeps small business dreams small and bank accounts even smaller. 11. Food truck restrictions. Food trucks could be an affordable way for chefs to start their business, if not for the insane restrictions. That means if you find a hungry crowd near a restaurant row, guess what? You're banned from parking there. These rules don't protect customers. They protect big restaurants from competition while keeping food truck entrepreneurs broke. 12. Mandatory minimum parking laws. Ever wonder why rent is so high in cities? One reason is parking space mandates. Cities force developers to build huge parking lots, even if people don't need them. Each parking spot costs up to $30,000 to build, and who do you think pays that cost? Yep, renters. So instead of affordable housing, we get overpriced apartments with empty parking lots. 13. Farmers destroying crops to stay legal. The government literally pays farmers to not grow food. Yes, you heard right. These crop control laws are supposed to keep prices stable. But what it really does is waste land, waste food, and keep grocery prices high. Imagine being fined because your tomatoes were too successful. 14. Raw milk bans. In many states, it's illegal to buy or sell raw milk. Now you can buy cigarettes, alcohol, and even fireworks legally. But milk straight from a cow? That's too dangerous. This ban hurts small farmers who could profit from selling raw milk, while protecting big dairy corporations who dominate the market. 15. Solar power restrictions. Some states have laws that prevent you from going fully off-grid with solar panels. That's right, the sun shines for free, but the government makes sure you still have to pay utility companies. In some areas, you're legally required to stay hooked up to the grid, even if you don't want their power. Translation, you can go green, but not that green. 16. High capital gains taxes. When you invest and make money, the government slaps a capital gains tax on it. That means even if you take all the risk and do all the research, Uncle Sam still gets a chunk. And if you lose money, too bad, you still pay taxes on other earnings. This discourages average people from investing, leaving the stock market to the wealthy. 17. Inflation through money printing. Okay, this isn't a single law, but a system. The government prints money whenever it feels like it, which makes your savings worth less every year. Inflation is basically a hidden tax. Imagine saving $100 today, only to find out it buys you $85 worth of stuff next year. Thanks, Federal Reserve. 18. For-profit prisons and fines. The justice system is supposed to keep people safe, but for-profit prisons and court fees often turn it into a money trap. Small fines snowball into huge debts. People lose jobs trying to pay off tickets, while private companies profit. It's basically debt disguised as justice. 19. Property taxes that never end. You buy your house, you pay it off. Congrats! You're free, right? Nope. Property taxes mean you never really own your home. You're just renting it from the government. Miss a few payments and they can take your house. It's like paying rent forever, even after your mortgage is done. 20. Student loan laws. Here's a killer: student loans can't be discharged in bankruptcy. That means even if you lose your job, your house, and your car, the government will still come after you for student debt. It's the one debt that follows you like a clingy ex forever. 21. The marriage penalty in taxes. So the government says marriage is a sacred institution, then punishes you for it. In some income brackets, couples actually pay more in taxes after they get married than they did as two single people. It's like Uncle Sam being that jealous ex who says, "Oh, you found love? Cool, pay me extra for it." Instead of rewarding stable families, this law quietly takes money out of their pockets. 22. The alternative minimum tax. This one was supposed to make sure the rich pay their fair share. But surprise, middle-class families often get hit with it too. It's like throwing a net into the ocean to catch sharks, but you end up scooping up a bunch of innocent goldfish. People who are barely making it get stuck paying thousands more. 23. Hidden cell phone taxes and fees. Ever notice how your $70 phone plan magically turns into $95? That's because your bill is stuffed with weird taxes: a universal service fee, 911 service fee, federal excise tax, state excise tax, and regulatory recovery fee. If your phone plan was a pizza, Taxes are the extra toppings you didn't order but still get charged for. 24. The tampon tax. In many states, tampons and sanitary products are taxed as luxury items because apparently lawmakers think menstruation is optional, like caviar or concert tickets. Meanwhile, things like Rogaine and Viagra are often tax-free. So hair loss and bedroom struggles? Necessities. Periods? Luxury. 25. Car dealership protection laws. In most states, it's illegal to buy a car directly from the manufacturer. You must go through a dealership. That means companies like Tesla constantly fight uphill battles against old-school car lobbyists. Imagine if you wanted to buy bread directly from the bakery, but the law said you had to buy it from a middleman at double the price. That's how dealerships stay rich while you stay broke. 26. The Farm Bill subsidies. The government gives billions in subsidies to huge industrial farms while small family farms struggle to survive. So your tax dollars are going to mega corporations that don't need help, while small farmers, the ones selling local produce at your farmer's market, get crushed. It's like Robin Hood in reverse, stealing from the poor to give to the rich. 27. The gasoline tax game. Every time you fill up your car, you're paying federal and state gas taxes, sometimes up to 50 cents per gallon. And what's worse, that money doesn't always go to fixing the potholes that eat your tires. Some of it goes to projects completely unrelated to roads. 28. Car registration fees every year. Why do you have to keep registering a car you already own? You bought it. You paid taxes on it. You even have insurance. But nope, every year you've got to send the DMV another check just to keep driving it legally. It's like paying rent on your own car forever. 29. Sin taxes on alcohol and cigarettes. Governments love to tax vices. Sure, it discourages unhealthy habits, but for many states, it's more about the revenue. And the poorer the community, the harder they get hit, because people with less money tend to buy more of these products. It's almost like lawmakers are saying, we'll profit off your stress, but don't worry, it's for your own good. 30. Luxury taxes on essentials. Some states still classify basic things like diapers, over-the-counter medicine, and even school supplies as luxuries, which is ironic because if you've ever changed a baby's diaper, you know there is nothing luxurious about it. These taxes squeeze families on things they literally cannot live without. 31. The 401k penalty trap. If you take money out of your retirement account before age 59 and a half, the government slaps you with a 10% penalty on top of income taxes. That means if you hit a financial emergency, you're punished for trying to use your own savings. It's like putting a lock on your fridge and charging you a fine every time you're hungry. 32. The credit score gatekeeping. The entire credit system is built on weird government-backed rules. One late bill, and suddenly you're treated like a financial criminal. Want to buy a house? Rent an apartment? Even get a job? Good luck, your score dictates your life. It's like high school GPA all over again, except this time the teachers are banks. 33. Minimum wage laws that don't keep up. Federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. That has not changed since 2009. Back then, you could maybe buy lunch with that. Today, it might get you a coffee, and not even the fancy kind. Keeping wages frozen while everything else gets more expensive is basically legalized poverty. 34. Social Security payroll taxes. Your employer pays another 6.2%. Sounds like a savings plan, right? Except the money doesn't go into your account. It goes to current retirees. And by the time millennials retire, the system may not even have enough money left. So you're basically paying into a savings account you might never use. 35. Health insurance mandates. In some states, if you don't have health insurance, you get fined. But here's the kicker. Insurance itself can cost more than rent. It's like being fined for not buying a Ferrari. And even when you do have insurance, you still pay deductibles, co-pays, and surprise bills. 36. Surprise medical billing laws. Technically, some laws allow hospitals and providers to charge out-of-network rates without telling you. You could walk into an emergency room at a hospital that takes your insurance only to find out the doctor inside doesn't, and boom, $10,000 bill. It's like ordering a burger at McDonald's and being charged Ruth's Chris Steakhouse prices. 37. Certificate of Need laws. In some states, if a hospital wants to expand or a new medical facility wants to open, they need permission from the government, and sometimes even from competing hospitals. That's like Starbucks needing permission from Dunkin' Donuts to open across the street. Result? Fewer hospitals, higher prices, and worse service. 38. High interest on federal student loans. The government itself sets high interest rates on student loans, often higher than mortgages. So not only do you graduate broke, you stay broke for decades while your balance grows faster than your salary. Student debt is basically legalized quicksand. 39. Bank overdraft fees. Banks can legally charge you $35 for overdrafting, even if it's by a single dollar. Buy a $3 coffee when you have $2 in your account? Congrats, that's now a $38 latte. Laws allow banks to profit off your smallest mistakes while calling it customer service. 40. Civil asset forfeiture. This is where police can take your money or property if they suspect it's connected to a crime, even if you're never charged. Getting it back is nearly impossible. That means you could be driving with $2,000 cash to buy a used car, get pulled over, and walk away broke because the officer thought it looked suspicious. It's literally legalized robbery. 41. High import tariffs. Tariffs are basically taxes on goods coming from other countries. Politicians sell them as protecting American jobs, but what they really do is jack up prices for everyday people. Want a cheaper TV from abroad? Sorry, Uncle Sam just added a patriotism surcharge. Tariffs mean Americans pay more for the same stuff people elsewhere get cheaper. 42. Tax on tips. You know when you leave a tip at a restaurant to help your server out? Well, the government takes a slice of that too. Imagine working for $2.13 an hour plus tips, and then Uncle Sam swoops in like, hey, thanks for helping that waitress, now help me too. 43. The pink tax on women's products. This isn't always a literal tax, but a government-backed pricing structure. Everyday products marketed to women, razors, deodorant, shampoo, are taxed and priced higher than male versions, even though they're often the exact same thing in a different color. Translation: women pay more for being women, and lawmakers allow it. 44. The candy tax. In some states, candy is taxed differently depending on whether it contains flour. So, Twix is considered food and gets taxed differently than a Hershey bar. Lawmakers are literally playing Candyland with your wallet. 45. Hotel occupancy taxes. When you book a hotel, the advertised price is a lie. After occupancy taxes, tourism taxes, and resort fees, the final bill looks like you rented a palace instead of a motel. Governments know travelers can't fight back, so they milk them for every cent. 46. Rental car taxes. Need a rental car? Get ready for the transportation facility charge, vehicle license recovery fee, customer facility fee, and whatever else they can sneak in. A $30 rental ends up being $60 because apparently cars come with hidden government subscriptions. 47. Alcohol distribution laws. In most states, breweries and wineries can't sell directly to you. They're forced to use distributors who take a cut. That's why your six-pack costs more than it should. It's like the government saying, sure, you can drink, but only after we take our sip first. 48. Ticketmaster and entertainment tax. Concert tickets are already overpriced, but then governments pile on amusement taxes and entertainment fees. A $50 ticket turns into $80 before you even find your seat. It's like being fined for the crime of wanting fun. 49. Fishing and hunting license laws. Want to catch a fish for getter? Better pay the government first. Want to hunt deer on your own land? That'll cost you too. Nature might be free, but enjoying it is apparently taxable. 50. Airline ticket taxes. Airline tickets are loaded with government fees, passenger facility charges, security fees, segment fees, and fuel surcharges. That means your middle seat in the back of the plane costs luxury prices. 51. Plastic bag bans and taxes. Some states charge you 5 to 10 cents per plastic bag. Sure, it's about the environment, but guess who feels it most? People who can least afford it. The rich don't care. The poor are stuck deciding if they can juggle groceries home. 52. Sugar taxes on soda. Want a Coke? In some cities, that'll be an extra tax. The idea is to discourage sugar, but in reality, poor families end up paying more, while soda companies barely notice. It's a health tax that doesn't make anyone healthier, just poorer. 53. Weird business permit fees. In some cities, you need separate permits just to hang a sign outside your business. Want to change the color of your awning? That's another permit. By the time you finish paying for all of them, you're broke before your business even opens. 54. Alcohol Sunday sales laws. In some states, you can't buy alcohol on Sunday mornings. Why? Because of old blue laws dating back to colonial times. So if you're broke, hungover, and desperate for a $3 mimosa cure, sorry, the government says wait until noon. 55. The cigarette settlement agreements. States locked in deals with tobacco companies, guaranteeing them profits as long as people keep smoking. So instead of wanting fewer smokers, states actually need cigarette sales to stay high because they rely on that money. Your health? Secondary. Your wallet? Definitely secondary. 56. Use tax on online purchases. Even if you buy something out of state to dodge sales tax, the government expects you to pay a use tax when you bring it home. Of course, almost nobody does. But if they catch you, yep, another fine. It's like sales tax with extra steps. 57. High licensing fees for small breweries or distilleries. A microbrewery could make just a few kegs a week, but licensing costs are the same as big corporate breweries. That keeps small-time entrepreneurs broke, while big companies thrive. It's like charging a kid with a lemonade stand the same taxes as Coca-Cola. 58. The mattress recycling fees. In some states, every mattress you buy comes with an extra recycling fee. Doesn't matter if you're going to recycle it or not, you're charged anyway. So basically, you're fined in advance for trash you might create. 59. Pet licensing laws. Love your dog? Great. Now pay the city every year for the privilege of owning him. Don't? You could face a fine. They say it's for tracking and safety, but let's be real. It's another sneaky tax for being a responsible pet owner. 60. Ticketing for driving while broke. Many states suspend driver's licenses if you can't pay fines, which means you can't drive to work, which means you can't earn money to pay the fines. It's the broke person's catch-22. Pay money you don't have or lose the ability to make money altogether. 61. The IRS self-reporting system. And finally, the dumbest of all. The IRS already knows how much you owe in taxes, but instead of just sending you the bill, they make you fill out dozens of confusing forms, guess at your own liability, and threaten to fine you if you're wrong. It's like your teacher knowing the test answers, making you take the test anyway, and then punishing you for not matching their secret key. So there you have it. 61 of the dumbest, wallet-draining government laws that keep most Americans broke. Some of these are outdated, some are sneaky, and some are just plain ridiculous. But all of them show how the system is stacked against everyday people trying to get ahead. If you found this eye-opening, smash that like button, share this video with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more truth bombs like this.